Welcome back to my channel Neuland Yoga. I'm Katja and this is a Yin Yoga practice for the lower back. You actually don't need any props, but it might be helpful to have 2 yoga blocks nearby and maybe a blanket if you have sensitive knees. Let's begin in Sphinx Pose. So please lay down on your belly. Stretch your legs back. Come onto your forearms and place your elbows slightly in front of your shoulders with your palms flat and your fingers gently spread apart. Wiggle a little bit around until the hips feel comfortable. Keep your feet nice and wide, maybe hip distance, maybe even wider, and just let your heels fall out to the sides. For your Sphinx pose, you have different options here. You can keep your head lifted. You can drop your head, make it heavy so the chin comes closer to your chest for a little bit of gentle thyroid stimulation. Or you can also place a block underneath your forehead if you need support for your head. So find your pose, find the shape that works best for you, that feels comfortable and gentle. But aim for a little bit of compression around the lower back area, around the kidney area. Look for a sensation that feels interesting and beneficial. If it's more like a sharp pain or discomfort, maybe slide your elbows further away from you so you can lower the chest a little bit more. If staying on the elbows or forearms doesn't work at all, you could also place your forearms underneath your forehead. So once you have found the shape that works best for you, maybe close your eyes or find a focal point somewhere in front of you. And then let's find stillness here. Allow your body to soften into the pose, into that specific shape. Relax into the pose as much as possible. And try to let go of any unnecessary tension. So relax your face, relax your shoulders, relax your belly, your legs, and your feet. Make sure that your breath is flowing freely, smoothly, and softly through the body. You don't have to control it, just allow it to come and go naturally. For the second half of our pose here, feel free to stay in Sphinx. So if it feels comfortable, just good as it is, stay. If you would like to go a little bit deeper, feel free to come into seal pose. So keep the palms flat in front of you, but turn the fingertips slightly to the outer edges of your mat. Press into your palms. Start lifting your chest, straightening your arms and elbows, and then see how that feels for the lower back. So usually that creates more compression and more sensation. Again, if it's too much or uncomfortable, you can come back into Sphinx pose or you can walk your hands further away from you. If it feels good and you would like to experience more, you can walk your hands closer to your upper body so the chest lifts even more. And then find the pose again that works best. Relax into it, soften into it, and find your stillness from here. We have about 5 deep breaths left here. Take a long, deep inhale. With your exhale, if you're in seal pose, slowly bend your elbows, come down onto your forearms again into Sphinx. Then lower your chest more until you're able to place your palms on either side of your chest onto the mat. And from there, very slowly push into the floor and come up. Right away, let your hips sink back towards your heels so you can come into child's pose. Maybe you can rest your forehead on the floor in front of you. Maybe you would like to place your hands or your forearms underneath your forehead as support. You can also just let your head hover above the floor. Allow your hips to become heavy even if they don't touch your heel. Just let them sink down. And notice the sensations in your lower back. The area that we just compressed in Sphinx and Seal is getting stretched and opened now. Can you maybe take a couple of deep inhales into that area so you can feel a little bit of a lift and expansion around your kidneys, around the lower back? And can you maybe soften everything so the hips sink deeper, the belly relaxes, the whole upper body sinks deeper towards the floor? Come inhaling slowly up onto hands and knees into a tabletop position. And then step your right foot forward between your hands. If it's not quite there yet, you can wrap around your heel to lift the foot and to bring it further forward between your hands. Bend your right knee, the front knee, and let both hips sink down. Aim for a gentle stretching and opening sensation in your left inner hip or your left upper thigh. Maybe you can also feel it around the left side lower back here. You can place your hands on either side of your right foot onto the mat, or maybe now you would like to use your blocks to make the floor a little bit higher. If you don't have blocks at home and you can't reach the floor, feel free to walk your right foot further to the right so that you can place your hands to the inside of your right foot. You can even make fists here, so the floor is a little bit higher for you as well. Both options are fine for that lunge or lizard pose variation. Take your time to find the right position again that works best for you and your body today. And let's find stillness from there again. Allow the hips to become heavy. Allow your feet and your legs to become heavy. Let your upper body soften, let it sink down as well. Become aware of the sensations around your left hip or the left lower back. Make sure they are still gentle and soft enough that you can stay there relatively relaxed and effortlessly. So again, try to avoid building up unnecessary tension somewhere else that you don't need to hold the pose. Last 5 breaths here on the first side. Finish your next exhale and then press strongly into the front foot, your hands or the block, so you can shift the body weight and the hips back. Slide your right foot back, come into your tabletop position and just take a moment there to feel both sides and to compare both sides. From there, let's switch sides. So step the left foot forward between your hands. Maybe use your left hand to lift it and to bring it further forward. Decide where you want to place the foot, maybe between your hands or maybe your hands to the inside of your foot. Use your blocks if you need to or if you like to. And then again, bend the front knee. Let both hips become heavy. And now look for that sensation in your right inner hip, inner thigh, maybe around the lower back on the right side. Relax your right leg and foot. Ground through the left foot. Soften your whole upper body. Let it sink down. And then find your stillness, find your pose from there. Do a brief check-in with your body. Notice if you started to create tension somewhere where you don't need it. Let it go for the last 5 or 6 breaths here. Finish your next exhale. Press strongly into the front foot, hands and blocks. Shift the body weight and your hips back. Slide your left leg back, come into your tabletop position for a moment. And then from there, bring your legs and feet forward in front of you so you can come down onto your back. Keep one of your blocks or your folded blanket nearby. Lay down onto your back. And if you don't have a block or blanket, just stay on your back, open your feet wide and let your inner knees fall into each other for constructive rest pose. If you have a block or blanket, open your knees and feet about hip distance in preparation for supported bridge pose. Lift your hips and place block or blanket underneath your sacrum, which is that bony shelf right underneath the lowest vertebrae. So make sure that the lowest vertebrae hang relatively freely and the sacrum and the backs of your hips are supported on the block or the blanket. Find a comfortable height and then let the back of your head, the backs of your shoulders, your arms and your hands, the soles of your feet anchor on the floor. Allow the floor to carry your weight, allow the block or your prop to carry your hips. If you like, close your eyes and then just be there, again in stillness, soft, relaxed, connected to your breath that should flow very smoothly and naturally through your body. Finish one more exhale here. With your inhale, press gently into the feet so that you can lift your hips. Slide your prop out underneath you and then let the hips sink down. Keep your knees bent and for a gentle twist, very loosely, just drop them over to the left. Your upper body and your arms can be in any position that feels comfortable and supportive here. Let's keep it very brief here, just for a few breaths to release the spine. With your next inhale, bring your right knee up, bring your left knee up, and then drop both knees over to the right. Again, very gently. Keep it a soft twist. Couple of breaths here. Your next inhale, bring your left knee up, bring your right knee up. Place your feet flat onto your mat, open your feet wide, keep the knees bent, and let the knees fall into each other. Constructive rest pose. Feel free to stay here for your final relaxation. You could also stretch the legs out if that feels more comfortable, or you can lay down on your side or on the belly, or you can even finish seated. So find something that is a good pose to end your practice, and then feel free to stay there for as long as you like and for as long as you need today. Thank you so much for practicing with me, and I'm looking forward to practicing soon with you again.